So I guess I have two questions. So 5 or more blocks that you need to do 3 distinct observations on between 7 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. And 85% of the parking spots have to be filled
Right.
between those times. And we're talking about existing RPP blocks.
Yes.
Because it's all within the RPP thing. And residents leave their homes between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8:30 p.m., right?
Right.
So there's an expectation that 85% of spots will be filled on RPP blocks in times when residents are not in their homes.
Well, the assumption here is that there's such a parking problem that other people are there, so
24 hours a day.
would warrant, a resident-only provision. So if we came and did the observation and said, you're right, over 50, it's occupied completely, and 50% of it are people that don't live here, that's a reason for resident-only parking.
So it would make some sense that at noon, 50% of the people wouldn't live there. Maybe you have a neighborhood that transitions into commercial in the middle of the day, or you have people coming in to, paintings and construction and whatever. Would you consider doing the observations in times when you want residents to be there? So this is clearly a resident-forward thing. Why don't you do it from 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. when we're circling the block looking for parking? So if you want to say 85%, if you want to find blocks or want to find areas where residents park a lot and it's hard to find parking because other people are coming in, you want to do that at times when residents are looking for parking. So, or trying to park.
As we do now with any RPP, with extended RPP as well, we ask the residents to tell us when you think is a good time to come do the observation. I have staff that work in that 6 a.m. Time. I have staff that are there at the 4 p.m. time. So that is, if we rely on the AEC to tell us,
Okay.
the best blocks to come look at and the best time to do the observation. We're allowing that. Again, that's an SOP we'll get to after if this is becomes final.
But that's a good comment.
Good comment. Yes, please.
So are you suggesting that to build on that, the 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. window, I think Noah has an excellent point about the timing of the residents looking for parking, and I would actually extend it even further, given the traffic generators with the restaurants. There's often valet parking or people coming that it's a problem until 10 o'clock at night. So you're open to the idea that it would be broader than 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, in the SOP side, we're really
I
7
don't think it's an SOP. It's
I know,
right
but
here.
7 a.m. to 8:30 is the commuter time. That's the original intent of the RPP program, is to regulate commuter parking. So I understand why I say it's an operational issue, because I can't make the full commitment that yes, we'll always come at 10 p.m. Because we don't have that labor force available. But we take that into consideration. We ask for you to let us know when the best time to come.
Well, and as a non-operational issue, if that is a comment that you want to put with respect to the regs, that in areas, because there is a nighttime economy that impacts a lot of neighborhoods, so if that's what's happening, then put it in, and Evian is simply going to have to get staff to go out.
I petitioned my leadership for
Yeah, no, I mean, if that's the
But
way we need to do it, because it's true. I think what we found is when the program was originally designed, it was intended for, commuters from Maryland and Virginia, and we've now found it's our own neighbors who are commuting, and we've become such a vibrant, exciting city that everybody wants to come down, and that's the good news. We got great restaurants, we're open, except for Metro, it's not open late, but, and so maybe our parking restrictions, protections, whatever you want to call them, should be extended
Have you
to
talked to
different
the
hours.
bids? Because I get the feeling they're not going to be too happy if it's this easy to change, residential parking. And suddenly they say, but what about all my businesses and,
They will have an opportunity to weigh in as well. We have not had, we have regular meetings with the bid council.
So we also extended the public comment period another 30 days, so,
So it's not October, it's now November?
no, it's October. It was originally September, August, September, and now it's October.
So it's a total
10.
of how many days?
60.
60 days.
Do you think since the first 30 in the summer when people aren't paying attention, I think that's why there's not that many people here? Do you think maybe you should extend it a little bit longer?
If we get requests to extend it, we will. But part of the problem is no matter when we publish, it's either too close to the holidays, it's on a Friday, which that is the only time new proposals are ever published on Fridays. It's too close to whatever. I mean, so we extended it an additional 30 days to ensure that AMCs could get this on their calendars. Because we assume that between August and sometime in that
August is
60
dead.
days. September is not, into October. It's an opportunity for all of the AMCs to meet if they want to discuss this. So, but if the intent, I mean, if everyone feels like we need longer comment, we're happy to extend it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because I have an issue with that. My city member district, like 55% of my residents are not even on computers. And
Are not what?
They're not on computer, they don't have computer
Okay.
access. A number of them are elderly, some of them are just not able to access it. And I think that a lot of times when these notices are served, the digital divide is not taken into account. And I personally have to go door-to-door posting flyers, and then a lot of times I'm slapped with 30 days to do it. And then trying to explain it to the residents how they can participate. And a lot of the comments, they're taken in an online manner, which I have to be honest, that excludes our low-income residents a lot of times.
Yes, it does.
So unless you can access a computer, you cannot make comments, and I think that it's not fair in this district. So I think that you all moving forward should think of a way to include our low-income residents who do not have the access, because it hasn't been a lot done to really provide them with free internet access. We have some programs through Comcast, but a lot of our residents still don't have access to Wi-Fi. And then some of them don't know how to use the computer. So sometimes you can print out a way and a place for them to drop off their comments when they look at these papers. There's no reason why a paper can't be attached so they can write their comments.
Sure.
That's a good idea. May I piggyback on that? I think that was a problem with the disability parking changes. It was 30 days. I mean, it was so short. I thought that was totally unfair, particularly for, it was in the summer, and so it got buried, and for the reasons that she stated.
So on the subject of outreach, and I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate your holding this meeting. Are you doing anything to go out into neighborhoods and go to public meetings, or going to people? Because I appreciate that you're trying to reach us as opinion leaders within communities, but I think to that point there's more that can be done to reach out at the actual level where you think people might have an interest.
I think, again, the question was how many ANCs do we think are going to do it? So far, I think the ANCs, and I could be wrong, but the ANCs that have asked us to come to meetings are probably represented here. And it's, I'm not sure this is a topic of interest across the city. There are key areas. We prefer not to go to 190 meetings in 60 days. 192 in 60 days.
That's like
But-
40.
They're 40, because they're all
Oh,
the
yes.
single-member districts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
a
not
single
even
member
less
district.
than-
Well, we have actually had requests for some single-member districts who
And
have
civic
transportation.
associations, we
Civic,
get
yeah.
that a lot. So what we're trying to do is bring everyone, so other agencies can hear the questions. If really
Well, maybe
they're
if
coming.
Can we still request you to come to an ASC?
I requested, I didn't get a real
We had
answer.
requested too.
I requested over a week
Yeah,
ago.
I mean,
Well, what we wanted to see was if we can, again, this is not final, it's just an idea. And what happens is at meetings, I think a lot of residents will suddenly say, why are you doing this? Well, we're not doing anything,
You
we're
tell them it's
proposing an
proposed.
idea.
People can understand that.
We should explain that to them.
We're,
That's our job.
I'm sorry?
I said, that's our job, to explain that you're not doing anything, this is a proposal.
Well, and that's why we were hoping and I'm a former ANC commissioner, so I know how hard it is to get people to meetings, to get people to understand. And so we're sort of hoping that you all can help us on this, because this is it's not simple. We're not saying that it's simple. It is a complex idea to address a problem that has been brought to our attention, or a defined problem. And if it doesn't work, and if we can't explain it to this group, then, maybe we go back to the drawing boards anyway. But, I mean, we do not generally, when we publish regulations, go on a speaking tour, if that's sort of what was being asked. We're happy to have meetings. We do try to pull everybody together, because then you get to kind of hear what other people's questions are.
And the FAQ that we posted
We
online.
do that, yeah. And in terms of the timing, I can assure you that some of these proposals have been in the process of approval and review for so long that we even forget by the time it's published what it says. So we cannot, saying that it was published, too soon for this. I hate to admit it, but I was surprised when this was published, because I had not gotten it, word that it was being published. It's a very, I wish we could control the whole, process a lot better, but we're trying to work with everybody. And if everyone feels that there needs to be more information, then we're happy to either extend it or, go back to the drawing board or go to meetings, whatever. Yes?
Actually, everything needs to go back to the drawing board, because as you stated, the city is growing. And with the growth of the city, the parking issue is growing. So what we can resolve now is only settling for today's problem. Tomorrow's problem is going to be even bigger. And basically, right now, it's just generalized answers. But there need to be more specifics set into this so that we can come up with ideas to help with the parking issue.
Well, again, we'd like you to take a look at this.
Regulations, huh?
The regulations, they're boring, they're tedious, but this is our way of making things happen, is through this.
Everywhere we're going,
honestly,
they're popping up with these mixed units. Stores on the bottom, condo
Right.
or apartments on the top, every other block. Like I'm about to undergo a mixed unit. That's an additional 1,500 units, besides the parking for the retail. Okay, I've already had the church, I already got the schools, I already got the little stores and moms and pops going on right now. And the kicker where I'm not really understanding is why I only have signs for street cleaning. Exactly.
I understand that.
Street cleaning. Street cleaning is on Wednesday. You have to move
You
your
don't
car.
have RPP, is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I'm getting bombarded. The residents are getting tickets because everybody's parking over and they can't park completely in their garage.
But RPP is available to you now. You can petition for RPP, that's still available. Have you
Have
petitioned
you
for it?
petitioned for RPP?
Our petition right now is a battle with my love ANC, and the next one, I love her dearly, I'm gonna leave it right there. But I have like I said, I have all this going on in my SMD, where all the SMDs around me, the two around me, are primarily residential. Because see, I have Rhode Island shopping center. I have all the stores down on Rhode Island Avenue leading up to the bridge. I have this big, massive church. I have, yes, love, a lot going on.
So Rhode Island Avenue is a different, if you're talking about Rhode Island Avenue, it's an evacuation route, that's why we can't place RPP on evacuation route.
No problem.
But,
Rhode Island, I have 4th Street. I
Right.
have Rhode Island to Franklin, 4th to the subway.
But right
Now, I
now,
have-
RPP is available on block by block petition. That is available, that is already exists before we even did the modifications. Residents can petition 51% of the block, come to us and say we want it, we come out and do the test,
We've
we
been
install
doing
signs.
it. And I mean no harm and no disrespect to love, but D has been kicking me left and right.
Wait,
I'm just saying, no disrespect to you. I've been fighting, I've only been here since February. And I've been fighting left and right and left. And like I said, my love partner next to me, I'm talking about my love partner.
So maybe you can have
Yeah,
also a
but
discussion
offline,
about, maybe
yeah.
there could be a
Yeah.
offline discussion about how
Yeah.
your SMD gets RPP on block by block basis, because RPP right now is available on block by block basis, so maybe you
no,
can have
we
a-
should talk after. I'll give you my information.
That's how I feel that people, because I know we're here for a specific reason, but I think think it's some work within these neighborhoods that need to be done. That's why people are disenchanted with the process and why this room is half empty. Because people, and talk to them and encourage them to come to meetings, they feel like it don't matter whether they come or not, you all are gonna do what you wanna do. And I think that it does have to be some give and take and some opportunity for us to tackle some of our community issues. Because we're not gonna have communities that attract people to DC. They're just not gonna wanna be here because it's gonna be so compact. We already have emergency vehicles that can't get in. And then when somebody dies, it's like, oh my God, why did that person die? Because the traffic couldn't get to them. It got delayed 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So I think these are real issues. And I think once our community see that these issues within our areas are being tackled, then they will want to participate more and they will want to comment more. But we have to have some sort of remedy as agencies, because we can't keep bumping our heads against the wall because people are coming to us about these problems. And that's why we lose ANC commissioners, that's why we lose residents in the district, because they're tired. And so I think at some point, DPW does have to be here. We have to have more meetings with the agencies that are involved.
Well, and that's a very good point, and I think that the agencies are regularly available to come to ANC meetings. I know our director goes fairly regularly. Because what you're talking about, and I think also what you're talking about, is a more generalized issue that's not really specific here. So it's, for me to come to a meeting to talk about these regs, I don't think is productive. It would be productive to come and talk about what do you see are the problems that we, DDOT, can assist you with. I mean, that's, and we're happy to go to ANC meetings to do that sort of dialogue.
I think it's a step more than that. We're talking more about a working session. Because a lot of times the directors, they come to our meetings, they get 5 questions, and then they're out.
Okay.
And we don't have any really follow-up or resolution. So I think what I'm talking about was more of us you all not just coming to a meeting, but us really scheduling some working sessions.
Right.
So that we can have more time, so that we don't have to drain y'all at 7 o'clock at night about issues that are pertinent to our ANCs, but we can really have some solutions to take back to our.
Right, on general topics.
I wonder if this is something that Gottlieb Simon could help facilitate as the lead for the ANC. I know Chairman Mendelson used to have regular meetings, monthly or whatever. He still does, okay. That's another opportunity where you have, real decision makers who are there to listen.
I think that would be very helpful.
I'm
But
sorry.
Commissioner, just to let you know,
Yeah.
your area is under a lot of scrutiny right now, so we will be talking a lot more. We've all been signed up to come and address issues because of the coming construction near the Buster's Point area. So we know, I understand what you're
Right.
saying.
It
Yes,
is- it's
it
much more
changes the urban
complicated than
environment.
this, yeah.
It means it's changes to everything. And that's why we're trying to create rulemaking to capture some of the pressures, but there's no silver bullet, unfortunately. If I had it, I would be a very rich man right now, especially with parking. But I hear you talk, yep.
I just want to thank you folks for reaching out to us as you have. This is sort of like having one pie with 8 slices, and there are 12 people at the table now, and there's another 4 on the way. No matter what you do, no matter what we decide, there's not going to be enough parking for the demand.
That's right.
No matter what you do,
Right.
somebody is going to be left out, whether it's businesses, residences, or whatever. And the real problem is, no matter what you try, your great enemy is that it be killed by process, because somebody's not going to be happy.
Well,
And I
and
want
that's,
to thank you for what you're trying to do. It's an effort that's not going to be easy.
we know that we can never make everybody happy. We want to make people just a little bit less unhappy, maybe. I mean, some of the
Or
things
equally
we're doing.
unhappy.
Slightly less unhappy. One of the things, like, we're trying to work with churches to identify, kind of shared parking, thank you, shared use parking. The churches will come to us and say, we need access to the free curb space, and we'll say, hey, there's a parking lot right next to you that sits empty, during the times when you want to use it. So we're trying to do our little bit, because we know that public space is a very limited commodity, and everybody wants a piece of it. So, you know, you're right. I mean, it's never, I know if I were to have driven here, I'd never find parking in my neighborhood right now. It's just a given. Yeah, I mean, so I think we're all experiencing this stage of that, yes, ma'am?
Can I ask you to, are you all going to add to the frequently asked questions based on the questions that we've asked?
Yes, we will.
Yes.
That's a very good, thank you for,
And
yes,
maybe
we will.
section, either add to the frequently asked question, or even do kind of section by section where the questions came up?
Yes, we
Or do
will.
both?
We'll take another look at this. I think yeah, we're doing our best to try to help you communicate, but also to help us communicate, so.
Don't forget to comment.
And don't forget to comment. Yeah, I mean,
But if you could get those out, that would help us in
Yes.
going to our ANC meetings,
right,
in encouraging people to comment, because we
Right.
can explain to them better some of the questions, interstitial questions that
Right.
people asked here, people at the meetings will probably have.
right.
And
And if anyone has a better idea, please let us
And
know.
the FAQs and the comparison, the side-by-side comparison was really helpful.
Mhm.
Because I first tried to look at the document without them and I was lost.
Well, and that's why we did it. There were a lot of questions of like, huh, what did you change?
Right,
Right.
right.
Even ourselves, when we looked
We
at the
couldn't
red
remember.
line documents, it took us a long time to.
You're taking ANC resolutions as comments, right?
Yes,
Yes.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
ANC resolutions is coming.
Resolutions coming.
Yeah.
Well, so there's public comments from individuals
Yes.
as well as the ANC resolution. The ANC resolutions are also due by October 10th.
Yes. And again, please, the most helpful way is to cite the numbers, the sections, you know, so that we know what you're commenting on and we can take a look at it. And if you have a way for us to say it better, please.
So in your ideal world, how would you like comments? Would you like to see them track changes, or our paragraph in green under your paragraph in red?
Whatever is the easiest for you, if you just link it, I mean, a red line is fine, having the comments below is fine.
Is there an electronic, like a Word version of this, if you want to
Yes.
type in it?
If you go on the DCMR website, you can actually convert it to a Word document and you can edit it. The actual proposed regulations.
Can you see what?
Municipal regulations.
DCMR.
Can you send out the link maybe when you send out the update?
It's
So
actually
if
there,
you-
we did it already.
It's,
Right.
there's a link in this FAQ document to the actual PDF, Word document, not PDF. But,
It links, yeah,
It
on,
links to the page in the
on
Word
the
document.
DCMR, when you go, you can actually try to start editing it, and it'll say, you know, it'll say, click, it, whatever, put in edit format, whatever the technical term
I just wanted to take a minute to talk about next steps. And as Al said, these are not final, this is proposed. So the next step is we accept comments until October 10th.
Unless we get requests. to
Unless we
extend
get
it,
requests to
will.
extend. Once we get all the comments, we review the comments, every single comment, and then we create a comment matrix. And then from there, if we get a lot of comments and the comments that we get very substantive, then we will issue another notice of rulemaking, the second proposed rulemaking.
We make changes.
So we make changes and we issue the rulemaking again, the proposed rulemaking again, so we won't go final if we get a lot of comments that, a lot of substantive comments, we don't go final. Just wanted to make sure that you guys understand this is not the final rulemaking.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or anything? All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Done.
Has anyone signed in?
Everyone.
Everyone signed in?